Greetings, everybody, and good day, no matter where you are and what part of the world you are in. I hope that you are having a good day. Okay, I just wanted to come on really quick, and this is just like a random post, but it is called the Nickie Brown Variety Show, so I do post a variety of things. I was on Facebook earlier, and someone created a post saying that something along the lines of, it's not an exact quote because my memory is not that good. My friend said that a single person, my friend that said that they think it's unusual for a single person to eat tacos. And I think the friend is a little unusual, but I'm not judging. So just wanted to kind of tell you, for people who are single or empty nesters, especially for empty nesters, if you were used to cooking certain portions for a long period of time, it is a little different to get adjusted to just cooking for one person. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of show you some different size pots. Um, they're all cast iron. This white one is enamel cast iron. This one, little small pot, I do need to season it because I haven't used it in a really long time. But this pot, and basically my hand fits in there. You can use this for like a poached egg. You can use this to melt butter. Um, if you just like want one salmon cake or crab cake, or um, even a slider, you just want one. You can make it in this pan. Okay, this pan is a little bit bigger. I think this is an 8 inch. I want to say that that's an 8 inch. You can cook quite a few things up in here. Um, you can fit, so let's say you have some rice. You can take one of your serving spoons, put the rice here, and whatever, you may have some type of chicken or fish or whatever, you can put that there, and warm up your food. Um, I don't have a microwave, so I do warm up my food the old-fashioned way, either on top of the stove or in the oven. So that is one of the reasons why I'm suggesting that. But again, you can make a burger, you can make a crab cake, uh, uh, you can warm up some food. You can make a good sized portion for one, basically, pot for that pan. Then you have this one, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a 10 inch. And again, you can cook a decent sized meal in this pan. It's not that deep, but has a little bit of depth to it. Again, you can cook something fresh, or you can warm up food, and really it's just enough food for a plate. Excuse me. If you want more, you can always go back. Okay, and then I have this pan. I think it's a 12 inch or something along those lines. Of course, you can heat up even more food, and of course you would have more room in the pan. So like, say if you made a burger, you would have more room to play around with. But stuff like burgers always shrink up anyway, so even if you use one of these smaller pans, again, if you're not a heavy eater, a smaller pan, just so that you can get used to the portion size, might actually be beneficial to you. But in this, of course, again, now if you cook in this pan, you're going to get about 3 or 4 servings of food. And so that's fine if you don't mind eating leftovers or taking your lunch to work, but some people don't like leftovers. Some people, once they're done with that meal, it'll sit in the Frigidaire, and then they end up throwing it in the garbage. So you do have to keep that in mind. If you use a bigger pan, you run the risk of making a bigger portion, and if you're not the type that's going to eat your leftovers, it may not be a good idea. Depends on, again, what you're making. But I've made, say, you could put rice here, your protein here, and your vegetable here. So this pan is big enough for you to heat up or cook. Um, Again, and this is just for one, and it depends on what you're cooking. So if you're, say you're making a piece of salmon, and you make your piece of salmon until it's pretty much done, and then you have some macaroni and cheese, you go ahead and warm that up, and then you have a vegetable that maybe you already have from the day before, and you go ahead and heat that up. So your salmon's cooking, your starch is starch is heating up, and your vegetables warming up. But again, it's still probably going to be at least 2 servings worth of food, depending on how big of a portion you eat. Um, so, but you could cook anything you want to cook, and make a smaller version of it, whether it's tacos, spaghetti. If you're making spaghetti, of course you're not going to make the whole box. Maybe just use about that much spaghetti. If you're going to make, say, beans, use a 1/4 cup of beans. If you feel like you want a little bit more, 1/2 cup of beans. But you know, 1/2 cup of beans is a good amount of beans. So again, if you're not the type of person who likes leftovers, you may not want to make 1/2 cup of beans because they're going to swell up, and that's probably at least 4 portions worth of beans. So now you might eat 2 portions with some rice or something else, but again, if you're not wanting to take it to lunch and eat it the next day, you might not want to make that many beans. If it's, I don't know, when it comes to your protein, they say do a fist size. So, you know, again, this, well, maybe not that one. My fist can fit into this pan. So you can make a piece of meat or fish in that pan for one person. Again, of course, the same thing with the enamel cast iron one. And then in the bigger one, of course, you can make or heat up at least 3 things in there. So it really all depends on what you're making. And then, of course, I got Big Mama. She's cast iron as well. And you could make a whole paella in that one. and feed quite a few people. I do use that pan. Again, I'm pretty much acclimated to portion sizes. Sometimes I still make a little bit extra, but I don't mind because I will eat my leftovers. But still, I don't really fill up that whole pan depending on what I'm making, unless I'm making food for other people as well. So if you want tacos, burritos, beans and rice, maybe not beans and rice, you need a pot. But you get my point. You can at least heat up the beans and rice the next day. And again, you would have a smaller portion so that you're not overeating, if that's something that you're concerned about or want to do. So I just wanted to share that. But you can make potatoes. You can make whatever you'd like. Again, if you're making pasta for one, you're not going to use the whole box. You may just use a 1/4 of the box. And that would be enough. Alright, y'all. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe.